How do we start it though? Just like that, hey? Hey, Daryl.
Yeah. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Daryl. Good to see you again. You're here. I don't know if anybody noticed or if you haven't watched our first episode yet, you can go back and see it. But when we were done
Yeah.
recording, Daryl had mentioned that it kind of looked like I might have looked like a kind of Disney character there with the way I had my discs set up. So in honor of that, I've come prepared with
There you
my
go.
R2D2 ears
That's
that I
almost,
picked up.
that's almost perfect. It's just
And
they look like they're just sitting on the shelf right now.
well, I'm not going to wear this the whole episode. I just thought you might get a kick out of that. Now, I know I threw this on you. We didn't discuss
Okay.
this. So put on your
Yeah.
thinking cap here and shoot some
Yeah.
holes in my idea.
The bit of a pause there was me taking a second to try and think the pros and the cons.
And all you can
I,
think of is how wonderful the idea is, right?
I yeah, we'll end the episode there.
Yeah, no.
Or should I say, it could be partly my catchphrase? You know that I like your idea, but you're wrong.
Ouch.
I
So
don't
what?
know. I don't necessarily love the idea. I'm not going to say I hate it. I'm just
Okay.
trying to think why I don't like it. I
Hey,
think
everybody. Welcome to Chain Out, the disc golf podcast for Canada. Nope, I'm not doing that one. I got lost. I got lost.
I could
I,
feel you were like searching for words.
I'm like, I went way beyond the simple thing.
Yeah.
So we'll do it again. 5 seconds. It'll just be simpler. I think what it is I don't know what
Episode 3?
it's episode 3, but do I want to call it the Chain Out or Welcome to Chain Out podcast? Episode 3, I think.
Chain Up Podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Because that's how we've got it labeled. So.
Yeah.
With you. I'm Jeremy, and with me, as always, is Daryl.
Hello, everybody. How's it going, Jeremy?
Going well, Daryl. How about you? How you feeling, buddy?
I don't know. Can you tell? My voice is. I'm not. I got that bit of a sexy Barry White voice going on, I think.
Oh,
Or
you
just
say sexy Barry White. I was thinking maybe a little Phoebe Buffet smelly cat
Phoebe.
voice there.
Yeah.
Podcasting energy that we've got is like a healing energy. That's what I'm
There
going to
you
say.
go. Yeah. Channeling my inner Phoebe Buffet.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thanks, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one. Until then, till then, Smelly Cat says, chain out.
Chain out.
There for it. But for me, I think what the difference is that if I have an errant shot at Nor'Wester, I'm gonna hit a car. A car is pretty strong. It's gonna my disc is gonna bounce off it. If I have an errant shot at the hills, and
I know
hit
where
a
you're
person,
going.
it's gonna bounce off them, but it could do a lot more damage hitting a person. And I feel that those tight
Right.
lines, I'd rather go onto a road and hit a car or hit a truck or something like that than hit an actual person. So that's what I'm gonna use as my deciding factor of why I'd prefer to play Nor'Wester. Plus, Nor'Wester is gonna have the longer distance, all the things that we
Right.
talked about than the hills. But one of those things is I'd rather hit a car than hit a person.
That's a fair.
Hey everyone, welcome to Chain Out Podcast. I'm Jeremy, and with me as always is your favorite co-host, Daryl.
Favorite co-host?
Why, thank you, Daryl and Jeremy. I'm so happy to be on Chain Out Podcast with you and glad that you were able to invite me. I'm really excited to tell you a lot about what oh, I'm not the guest that you were expecting to have on the show tonight? How did you know?
That's the thing. So I had a huge mix,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of different brands, but then I hold a Comet, and then I hold a Buzz, and then I hold a Wasp, or I hold whatever. Name your EMAC Truth or whatever.
Yeah.
They all feel a little bit differently in your head. It's not the same disc, even if it's virtually the same disc. If you hold an EMAC Truth and a Buzz SS or whatever
Yeah.
you consider to be the same as that, it's not gonna in your head it's not going to be the same disc. So
Yeah.
Right.
That's such an interesting way to look at it, Jeremy. I've never thought about that. I mean, I know I've spoken. Obviously, Tim said that at one point he had 7 Nate Sexton
Firebirds.
Firebirds in his bag, and they kind of explain it. Yeah, obviously, the more beat in the disc gets, the more unstable it gets. So that's why they have that. But until Brendan just said it, then like not necessarily having the disc because it beats in, but just having it because it feels the same. You've got the same disc in your hand, you're throwing it, and it's that's kind of just hit me there for a second. So it feels. Hey everybody, welcome to the Chain Out Fantasy League episode 7, event 8.
Yes.
I am the host, apparently, Daryl, joined as always by my buddy Jeremy. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I think you got that wrong. You are the super host.
The super host? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take it. You always say that.
The
but,
super
and that's only
fantastic.
according to PDGA ratings.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll see. There's still a Tuesday in September. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I still haven't played any tournaments, so I'm staying where I am.
There you go.
So if you are listening to this episode a bit later on, possibly on the weekend, if you want to be a part of the live episodes, which I should just bring up the chat, you can head over to our Patreon, sign up for any tier, including free. You'll get a link to join live.
Yeah. And then you can do things like jump in the comments, be interactive with us, tell us who you think we should pick, give us some tips or maybe some inside information. We want all of that.
Well, you need it. Have you looked at the scores?
No,
Yeah.
but I'm sure we will.
So this is episode 7, event 8, Falcons Flight 16, happening down in Sundre, Alberta. We've got a special guest on this week's episode.
Yes.
We had the other half of the dynamic duo from Park Pro. We had Matt Lisac on. I believe he was our first guest.
Did he? Oh, he did the doubles with us. He did Foxwood and Spring Runoff.
I believe he did.
Yes,
I looked back to try and see how he did, and he won his episode.
Ooh.
So this week we are happy to, or this event, we are happy to bring onto the podcast the other half, Mr. Andre Lodder.
Yes. Hey, Andre.
Hey, everyone. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to match up with Matt. That's a high bar to set. I know you guys are pretty good at picking these guys, so see how it goes.
Well, there's been a bit of a curveball in this year's scoring system, so it's really anybody's game these days, it feels like. So, and we'll see that when we look at the points a little later here.
The scoring system is a work in progress. Last season,
it always takes a few years to figure out the scoring system.
Yeah, exactly. Last year we were told, or I was told that I had a discussion. Are aces harder to get than eagles? Because I feel like quite a few people have had aces, and you hear about people getting them all the time, but you don't hear too many eagles being. You look at the scorecards, and I was told no, eagles are rarer than aces. And then it wasn't until we spoke to Chance Stad, who pointed out that every ace is an eagle, and that eagles are quite common apparently. So the point system doesn't quite work out. So yeah, take that into consideration. And we'll go over the points in a second just to let you know what the point scoring is. Whether that'll change your picks or not, I don't know. But
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you too, Andre, in preparation for Canadian Nationals this year and all the excitement like we had on the previous episode talking to Daryl Banks and to Nico Forbes, I've also been watching your guys' amazing coverage of last year's event down in Clearwater and just getting myself ramped up again. I still can't believe that second round, the MPO just playing in that downpour of rain and Thomas still lighting up the course.
Yeah, that was insane how much water there was. Like that was just like that's the biggest downpour that we've ever done. It's funny, the first year that we did we were recording, we got so lucky. We didn't even really have a rain solution for our cameras. We were just kind of like fingers crossed, let's go ahead and see how it goes. And it worked out great every single event. And then last year we got a little bit of rain, especially in the early year, but that was like that takes the cake. And luckily we had figured out a system that worked okay. We were still had some fog issues, but yeah, no, it was like that was just nutty, just incredible. And honestly, like the best part about it, you know, you heard Nico talk about how amazing the community of disc golf is. Like, you know, we were recording, we didn't have to ask people in that were watching, they just came with umbrellas and held them over top of us because they just like,
Wow.
you know, this seems like a good thing to do, and it was extremely helpful. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, we're coming towards the end of the disc golf season. We're at least pushing towards the end of it. How has your summer been? Have you been playing a lot of? Have you been relaxing? Have you been playing disc golf?
You know, when we're not filming every weekend, it leaves a lot more weekends free for family. So,
Yes.
we've been doing a lot of camping this year. My daughter's three now, so
Great.
that's been a big part of our summer. I was playing a lot more disc golf in like the spring and then early summer, and then it's kind of just like petered off a little bit.
Hmm.
As like pretty much once the mosquitoes well and truly came out, that's kind of when I was like, okay, I won't go out as much, and kind of go from there. And
Yeah.
but no, I've been trying to get out a few more times in preparation to play Falcons Flight. This is my one
Yes.
big tournament of the year. So yeah.
Nice. Well, and I think too, if I remember right, do you run, or you're a big part of the Rusty series that happens out in the BC area?
Yeah, so I run those events. This year was a little bit different. I had a lot of help. So I was kind of overseeing the series as a whole, and then I was very fortunate to have Steve kind of run the event down in Cranbrook, and then obviously Casey's tournament, and then I had Aiden Pallison, who's from Invermere here, who's stepping up in a big way. He's running the Rumble, which is the week out, and yeah, the week before Nationals, I think.
Okay.
And then week before, and then who else? Brad Herbert ran the event in Golden, so it was nice to be able to kind of step back from the actual running of the event, and then also, you know, just helping out as much as I could and kind of giving advice and stuff. So and honestly, huge thanks to BR Disc Golf, who stepped up huge after we had run the whole event and everything. I had like money for all the AMs prizing for the series, and I was like, I gotta find some way to like take care of this. And you know, I had a lot of options to like, but it just would have been really complicated. And I messaged Brendan. He was so gracious and so awesome in supporting the event and being able to pay out the prizes for all the amps. So
Oh,
Well,
great.
that's
That's
awesome. It's good to
yeah,
fantastic.
hear. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we like the guy too. He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
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 So are you ready to put together a great team tonight for Team Guest? I know you said
Yeah,
it might be hard to live up, but you're prepared?
yeah. I'm gonna say it might be hard to live up, but I'm still gonna crush you guys.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that's
Well,
confidence.
that's what I like to hear. I like to hear the banter early on.
So one
Wait.
thing we should tell you early on too, before we really get into the picks and everything else we do, start now. If you haven't already, start
Yes.
thinking of a team name. I don't know if it's going to be Team
Oh,
Crush
yeah.
now that you've said
Yeah.
that. But
So, and just to let you know that Matt's team, so you don't pick the same team.
yeah,
He was new team Who Dis.
Nice. Okay.
Was it Dis or Disc?
it was Who Dis.
Who Dis?
Who
Yeah,
Disc?
because we changed
Who
it to
Disc guy.
Disc.
Yeah.
New
So-
team Who Dis.
All right.
So
I already got my name actually, so we're all set.
Oh,
okay.
Well,
we'll get
we'll
to-
save it
yeah,
for the
we'll
announcement.
save that until
yeah.
we get to your actual
right.
your team. But let's go over the rules. So, firstly, people that want to follow on, you can head over to chainoutpodcast.com, make your own picks. Look at the top, you'll see where it says tournaments. Click on the upcoming tournament, whichever tournament is relevant.
Mhm.
Click there. Make your 3 MPO, 3 FPO picks, and enter your prediction for the scores for both divisions as well.
Mhm.
Now, because you have free reign of all the players, you get to pick 3 MPO, 3 FPO on the website. But because there's 3 of us picking, and we do a snake draft, we don't want to double up.
Mhm.
Because of the limited FPO field, we will be picking 4 MPOs and 2 FPOs.
That's right.
Perfect.
You got her.
So the scoring system. This is where it gets a little sketchy.
This is where Andre gets excited.
So for a win, you'll get 5 points. If any of your players end up on the podium, you'll get 3 points. If you're placed in the top 10, you just get that 1 point. And so rare eagle will get you 15 points. and 10 points for one of those common aces.
Yes, those very common aces.
Yeah, right?
I think, what did we look? What was it at the Eastern Canadian
Well, we'll go
Amateur
over that.
Nationals? Oh, okay. Yeah,
We'll go over that in
we'll
just
get
a
over there.
second.
Okay.
So let's give an update on the standings right now. So currently, the point standings, I mean, I guess I could have looked at the, oops, we could have gone over that. But I'm currently leading with 286 points because I had a good week at ECAN.
Mm-hmm.
Team Guest is 193. Not such a great event for Team Wonderland, Robbie Holden, and Team J-Pow bringing up the rear, which I always say, on 154 points.
I thought I was doing a lot better there.
As for tournament wins, Team J-Pow bringing up the rear again with 1 win, and now I've pulled it back. Team Shambles, not so Team Shambles, ties up Team Guest with 3 wins each.
Yes.
And obviously, we put our teams out on Instagram following this episode. People can go onto Instagram. They can vote on which team they think is strongest. The subscribers, the fans, seem to be siding with you, Jeremy. You have 3 wins. Obviously, it hasn't translated to tournament wins, but 3 times you've won. Daryl, Team Shambles with 2, and Team Guest only with that 1 solitary fan vote.
Yes. All right. Well, and I would tell you some of the reasons I get these fan votes is that I put together some of the best quality teams that you'd ever seen. Then performance doesn't always work out, but like we had what did I say? Team nickname, I think.
Yes.
Jesse G and all of that.
And you had
Team Good Vibes.
Yes.
So like some of my
teams
like
the Team Power Couples.
Yes. Oh, I do. Come on, don't give away this to Andre. He's gonna steal some of my picks.
So let me just see if I push this button. It should.
Yeah. Well,
we can kind of look at it here. These are the ECAN results. So Team Shambles, 70 points in first place, takes the win. But as you can see there with the lopsided point system, 10 placement points, but 60 points just in Eagles.
Where's all the ace points? Shouldn't there be like 120 ace points there?
And you can see there my players and my picks, and you can see the points. And I think Robbie kind of pointed it out that Thomas got more points in Eagles than you did for placement and Robbie combined. So it may be outweighed.
Yeah.
Team J-Pow in second place with 40 points, 30 points coming from Eagles. And then Team Guest, 9 solitary points. Robbie did not have a good... He was full of the SmackDown to start with.
He was, and he was very well prepared. He had so much knowledge about the players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's how the points was added up.
Yeah.
So,
and one of the things we talked about BR Disc Golf. What do we got going on with that? We got to do a giveaway at some point too, don't we?
Yeah. You can decide on that for a second and let me do my thing.
Yeah. So one of the things that we do is BR Disc Golf and Brendan, they give us a gift card giveaway for each tournament. So we will pick that from the people who vote and participate and are interactive with the fantasy picks. That's how you're going to get into there. All right. I'm going to keep talking. And Andre, you can maybe help me with a little bit of knowledge from your experience on this, but I figured we should talk a little bit about Falcons Flight. First thing you and I both know, all of us know, is that this event sells out in minutes every single year. And I would say it's partly because it's not just a disc golf tournament, it's an experience as much as it's a disc golf tournament. Would you say the same from your side?
Yeah, I'd say it's about the closest thing to a sort of disc golf festival as that we have. It's one of those things that, Canadian Nationals might be the biggest event of the year for Canada, but I'd say Falcons Flight is the one that I think people look forward to the most, just because, Canadian Nationals, as great as it is, it's always moving around. Whereas Falcons Flight, the history of this property, the courses are amazing. And you just know the atmosphere is I don't think there's anything quite like it. I've been very fortunate enough to go to a lot of big events in Canada, as you guys know. And I just don't think anything quite matches the atmosphere that you get at Falcons. And I think that's why it's such a popular event.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those are great points. And, and on top of that, not only is it that we were talking with Daryl Banks about the team he's had to put together for Canadian championships, but the team that's out in Alberta that takes care of putting Falcons Flight together. Like you've got tournament director Don Annette, you got Jordan Alway, you got Serge Goslin, Brenda Page, Carrie Neal's out there helping out every year. Alex Penny's on that team. And I know there's other people I'm missing, but when you start hearing those names and you're from Western Canada, like this is a lot of big, heavy hitters and well-experienced legends in disc golf putting together this event every year. So that makes it part of the awesomeness of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate this year. I actually reached out to the team just to see if I can kind of sit in on conversations to see, what is going on behind the scenes, and be able to help out as much as I can, even though I don't like, I'm a very small part of what's going on this year, but mostly just be able to provide my opinion here and there, just on decisions that are being made. But the team, that the amount of effort that they put in, it's just nuts. They meet all the, like, constantly. I think it's at least once a month leading up to the event, and then the final month it's every week. And it's pretty crazy because it's I've never seen an event quite like this, where you could have basically like almost 20 people on a call, and everyone has a role or has something to contribute to this. And that's, I think, what goes into this running so smoothly. And I will say that the amount of work that everyone there puts in is just insane. And a special shout out to Dawn, Jordan, and I have to say Brenda, because Brenda's put in so much work every time I'm on that call. She's answering questions and doing so much of the organizing. And Dawn's just keeping everything together, and Jordan's figuring stuff out. Serge is figuring it. It's just like it's I've never seen anything like it. So
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And then we've noticed that when we've had players and anybody on the podcast, and we ask them, what's your favorite course? If you're from the area, they're always saying Aspen Meadows. And when we look at UDisc, it's not surprising that the West course, according to UDisc for 2025, is the number 1 course in Alberta, the number 3 course in Canada, and the number 58 course in the world. And then you look at the East course, it's number 2 in Alberta, number 4 in Canada, and actually number 68 in the world. So it just goes to show you that those amazing courses, add to the event. Makes, like you said, it's part of a disc golf festival. But when you have the amazing courses that you're going to play on, plus all the extra activities and the things that you are accompanying it when you're not playing disc golf, it just really truly leads to, like you said, a big disc golf festival.
Yeah, I remember looking that up, and I thought it was actually kind of funny that the West was ahead of the East, because I feel like everyone you talk to, they like the East more, but it's harder. And I think having that West be a little bit more approachable and a little bit, it's more scoreable. And I think just that aspect of it might push it up a little bit. But I believe if you were to poll all the pros, I think that most of them would agree that the East is the better course, because part of the reason I think that everyone likes that course is we're kind of, disc golfers, we're kind of a crazy breed, where we kind of like, we hit trees and have all these bad shots. We have way more bad shots than good shots, and we just love it. And so that, to me, is kind of telling for why those courses, being as hard as they are tops in Alberta. So
I think what you're probably doing is you're not asking somebody that scored a 15 on a hole, so he would probably say that the 17 that he would probably say the West course was a nicer course.
Yeah, that is enough to ruin a round, that's for sure.
Yeah, round.
Yeah,
the tournament.
Well, what we'll do here is we'll get right into the picks, but I just wanted to say as well, so last year's winner was Casey Hannemeyer on the MPO side. Bailey Inglis won on the FPO side. One of the two is going to be there, and we won't say much more about that because I don't want to reveal too much of my picks. Last year's event had 257 players, 53 MPO, 7 FPO. It's increased on all those numbers this year. It's at 264 players last we checked, 60 MPO, so up 7, and then 8 FPO, up 1 FPO as well.
It's growing.
That's where we got.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the picks then. Let's get to why we're all here. Let me push this magic button.
And so we're all in our little Hollywood Squares boxes.
Exactly. So the way that we normally run this is what we said, we do a snake draft, and the person that gets to decide the snake draft is the loser from the last event.
Yes.
So that would be Team Guest.
The person with the lowest points.
The person who came in third.
Yes.
So that would be team guest, courtesy of Robbie Holden. So Andre, you get to determine the order of picks. So you can decide who goes first, who goes second, and then who gets that important 3-4 pick before we come back up again. So you
All
decide who
right.
goes first, second, and third.
I'm gonna say, why don't we go Team Shambles, Team J-Pow, Team Guest, Team Invite.
All right.
Okay. That's
Sounds
2
good.
weeks in a row I've been given first pick.
2 tournaments,
2
yeah.
tournaments, yeah.
And then the other thing, keep in mind before we get in the picks, because we want to make sure you're on the level playing field, there is no requirement. You don't have to pick your MPOs first and then your FPOs or anything like that. It's pick whoever you want, whenever you want, but only 2 FPOs and 4 MPOs.
Correct.
Yes. So, all right.
All right.
So you want to get this started, Team Shambles? Are you
Yeah.
happy to be here again?
I'm happy to be here. Team Shambles is happy to be here in Edmonton, Alberta. We'd like
Yes.
to welcome everybody watching around the world. With the first overall pick in the Falcons Flight 16 2025 draft, Team Shambles would like to welcome from Lethbridge, Alberta.
Ooh.
Back to back. Or sorry, he's back to 1,000 rated. 17 events this year, 7 wins, 2 back-to-back A tiers. I feel like this player is now coming back into his own again. Team Shambles would like to welcome Noah Higgins to Team Shambles.
Great choice, Shambles.
Super solid, number one, worthy of the number one overall pick. I think he's really found his stride this year. It's
Absolutely.
been pretty cool to watch, actually, how well Noah's kind of picked up his game. So
Yeah. And able to do it back-to-back, BC and TCO.
Yeah. And you know he wants this one badly. He really wants this one. He's got a history with this event. And, you know, this is probably, I'd say if there was any event in the world that he would want to win the most, it's probably this one.
Yeah. And you know,
feeling
too,
good.
I think as well, Andre, is that when it comes to this event, you've got kind of the group of 4 that like to play together, give each other a hard time, and they're friends and everything. You got Max, you got Casey, you got Ben, you got Noah, and Noah just wants to, not only does he want to win, I think he wants to beat those guys too. So
yeah, for sure. Okay, well, that sends it over to you.
Well, yes. Well, thank you. I am also in here today. Team J-Pow, we've just flown in. Yeah, we're in the southern Edmonton area. We're ready. We're packed, ready to go. We got this figured out. We're wearing our Falcons Flight. We're feeling it. I think you had a very good pick to start us off, Team Shambles, but I got a player that might surprise some people, only in the fact that you're like, there's so many 1,000 rated players here, Jeremy. Wouldn't you start with 1,000 rated player for your first pick? But I'm going to say no. I'm going with a 989 rated player. I'm going with a player from Canmore, Alberta. A player who has been having a heck of a year, just throwing discs straight down the fairway, nice and quiet, perfect person.
Yeah.
Welcome to Team J-Pow as my first pick, Coda Postma. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Solid.
It's a good pick.
Boy, I am surprised. I thought that was going to be, I thought Casey Hannemeyer was a lock for those tops. You guys have already thrown my whole plan for a loop here. But it's funny. So the way I ranked them, I went by by their ratings, and then I just kind of organized based on feeling beyond that.
Yeah. Fair.
And I definitely moved Coda up a few spots because, you know, he has also had, you know, pretty solid year so far. So
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And, you know, he and Casey have gone up and battled, and Casey's an amazing player, and we know what he can do, and especially when he's dialed. But with Coda going up head to head and taking a win or two from him, that was a bit of what I was looking at, because it was hard to weigh the two out as a first pick on my side. So.
Yeah, no, he's definitely up on my list. He wasn't going to be next, but yeah, it's definitely a great pick. All right. So now it's about time. Now that you've already got it locked in, we need to know what your team name is.
Team name. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna go to my fantasy football roots. We have our draft coming up soon, but in my dynasty league, my fantasy name is Shroot Farms, comma Beats by Dre.
Nice, Beats by Dre.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's going to be a little bit hard.
Beats is
Beats
spelled
with two E's. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Beats
And
Beats
if
Bears
that
and
doesn't
Battlestar Galactica by
if
Dre.
if,
Yeah,
if that doesn't fit, you can just go with Beats by Dre. That's fine.
I love
I'll
it.
make it work. Yeah,
Yeah. Maybe you'll just do a symbol for Beats or something.
yeah. So
Yeah,
Shroot Farms, comma Beats by Dre has
yeah.
has picks 3 and 4.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so in the first round, I will go with, in my opinion, the top FPO
Mhm.
in this event. She came out hot last year, and she had an injury, unfortunately, but she
Oh.
has also been playing some really good golf, and I'm going with Joe Henderson.
Yes,
You know, I toyed with take because I know you like to take an FPO early,
I do.
and and it's we always say it. There's in the MPO division because it is a little bit deeper. There's always upsets that can happen. There's never a lock in for number one. Not that there's a lock in for FPO, but looking at Joe's record, I was thinking I got to take her early, and that's a great pick.
Yeah. And
Yeah, and I do have to say, like, the top, the top 5 FPO, top 5, actually all of them, really,
Yes,
all of them have a chance at winning.
for
Like,
sure.
this is not, it's not a lock or anything. This is just basically, I feel like Joe's been playing some really solid disc golf. She
Yes.
came back really strong from her injury, and that's why I had to pick her up.
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a note 17 events, 16 firsts, and 1 second.
Yeah.
It's hard
Yeah.
to ignore that.
Well, and on top of that too, Andre, is that you've got Joe, I don't know if she would say it out loud or not, but as you just said, Daryl, she's been winning everything she's done. She's been
Mhm.
training, she's been working out and doing everything to put her body back in the shape that she needs it for
Yeah.
her to play. And I think she's got a score to settle with this court.
Oh, absolutely.
Like she's gonna get out there and she's like, she's not gonna say it out loud, but it's like, this time I'm taking you down, Falcons.
Mhm.
You're not
Well,
taking me down.
I think she did put that out on her social media.
Oh,
when
did
she
she?
did a practice round. She got to that hole and she made it past, and she was like, "Okay,
We're good.
I've done it." Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Good.
great pick
Yeah,
for number
that's great.
3.
And then on my next pick, coming around the turn, you guys left him on the board, and I feel like you can't leave him on the board for too long. You
Mhm.
got to go with Casey Hannemeyer. He's won this event multiple times in the past. He's just a solid player. He plays really well here. He doesn't always come on strong. Sometimes he has to play from behind, but he's always going to be at the top of that leaderboard at some point. So
Yes.
got to go with Casey.
Yeah.
Well, and when he gets, as we were saying, when he gets dialed, ice in the veins, putting from circle 2 like he's tapping in putts,
Yeah.
like no question. So great pick to put up there. And you're right, he would not have made it back to you. So it's good you grabbed him now.
Yeah, exactly. And what I said, I also put down that 9 events, no wins, but is never not cashed. All others are inside the top 6. Could have won spring runoff, apart
Mhm.
from an incident that happened, and then of course, last year's winner. So, like you said, never count Casey out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has had a bit of a slower start to the year. He's back throwing those Innova discs.
Yeah.
And I feel like, that always takes a little bit of time to get back used to those. I feel like we're late enough in the season now where he's kind of found his groove. He's found out what discs are working for him. And I think he'll put them to work this weekend.
For sure. Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, it comes back to Team J Pow.
Mm-hmm.
And, Joe Henderson's off the board. I want to go over to the FPO side, as Daryl knows I like to do.
Okay.
And I want to get my first MPO picked. And when I'm looking at it, there has been a battle going on all year on the FPO side that people might not know. 2 friends battling it out weekend after weekend, and one of them is ready to take a first.
Okay.
So if Joe Henderson's out there, you know who's going to be right there with her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 891 rated from Calgary, Alberta, Amber Chason. So let's get the lefty out there, get some lefty love, and see Amber up at the top of the podium there.
Okay.
I always love it. I always say this, Andre, is when it's silent, it's because everybody's adjusting their plans.
Yeah. You got to look through the list. You got to move some things around. Amber, super solid player, and just again, what a wonderful person. She always does well at that event too. So
Yeah. And I think too, actually, I will say, and if you talk to her, was last year she did not have as good of an event here as she wanted to. Did not go her way. So she didn't end up with an injury like Joe did, but she's got a score to settle with the course as well. I think that's probably a common theme with a lot of people who have played Falcons. Don't you have a score to settle too, Daryl?
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you got to
Yeah.
remember that Avery was, a year younger then, right? So
Yeah.
she was, obviously mine may not have been in it, trying to focus on Avery and things like that.
Mhm.
Avery's obviously grown up now, or,
Growing up. Yep.
growing up. Yeah. So, yeah. And then,
Yeah.
like you said, Joe,
No, go ahead.
when you see Joe finish first at the event,
You know who seconded.
Amber was
Yeah.
close behind in
Right.
second.
And
So
it's usually like one stroke behind.
yeah, exactly.
Or it was lost in a playoff or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of what a lot of people don't understand is how much taking care of a child, the young child, takes away from your disc golf game. I actually think they talked about it a little bit on. They had like a women's panel for the world and stuff, and so I feel like Amber's kind of getting to that point where she doesn't have to look be with Avery every minute,
Yeah.
and she's able to focus on her disc golf game a little bit, and I think that's showing a little bit this year. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Okay, so now it's back to Team Shambles for the 5-6 pick.
Mhm.
Yes. So I'm going to stick with FPO as well.
Okay.
Now I'm going to go to somebody that's also been playing pretty well, has been surprising, and has done well typically at events that she's played the first time. And I believe this is the first time of this person playing this event. This person is from Edmonton, Alberta.
Mhm.
Currently 886 rated, up 2 points. I like someone who's active, so he's played 7 events. Never not on the podium this year. Tundra Toss win, Edmonton Open win, and Lost Egg. Team J Powell. Sorry.
Oh, thank you. You're going to give me a
Sorry. Team Shambles. That's why I'm called Team Shambles. Would like to welcome Zoe Lorenz Bozer.
Yes,
team.
that's a great pick. And
Yeah.
quit looking at my page because you're even saying Team JPOW. That
I'm
makes
not
it a little
looking-
obvious.
I'm not looking at your team, honestly.
No,
yeah, it really sounds like you didn't get your own prep there, and you're just kind of doing the little high school. What you got
I mean,
over there?
it has been known to happen.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
But yes, no, Zoe has been playing quite well this year. Like you said, winning multiple events in a row, or a couple events in a row here, and
Yeah.
Lost Egg being one of them. That's the tonal event with all that crazy terrain and such.
Yeah.
And she's part of Team BR, is she not too? Or is she?
He's part of a Team Wildman.
Oh, Team Wildman, yes.
Yeah.
And we know that I was out doing the Special Olympics, volunteering for that, and Team Wildman was out there with like 6 volunteers,
Mhm.
and they've been really putting together
Yeah.
a good group and a good vibe that they're doing as well. So
Yeah.
it's exciting to have her out there.
Yeah. And I know when we played, I know it was Get In, Get Out, Get Rated, but she'd never played the Wetaskimoon course before, and she ended up winning that event. So I know she does well on courses that she doesn't normally play. So
Good.
Okay, well, for my third pick overall, I'm going to go back to the MPO division. I'm going to pick somebody who is 989 rated.
Ooh.
This person was 4th at Falcons Flight in 2024, Falcons Flight 15. This person is a close friend of Mr. Fun Miguel Alvarado, but we're not going with Miguel. We are going from Ankeny, Iowa. We're going with Mr. Nick Culver.
Yes.
That solid pick. Yep.
Yes.
Nick is just a even keel, solid at every event, and he's just one of those players that's just fun to watch. And he's so focused. When you're out there, he's so focused on what he needs to do. So solid pick.
Yeah. And on top
Like
of
to
that,
hear
the
it.
other thing I've noticed was he shows up in our social media feeds. And one of the things he's been really working on is his putting. And I'm thinking it's like a minimum of 100 putts a day is what he's doing. And, we all know, even with Falcons Flight and, in the 2 courses, there are a few long shots, but it's going to come down to the putting, because it's not just having a long bomb is not going to save you on this course. It's going to come down to that putting.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
All right.
Okay.
Back to me.
Back
Hey,
to you again, yes.
so this will be my third pick. I as
Third
well
overall.
am going to go back to the MPO side. And this is a player who, speaking of nationals, ended up doing quite well at nationals. You saw him up and down the leaderboard a bit, but by the end he was standing on the podium. This player is quite familiar to Andre's part of the province over there in BC. We've had him on the podcast, has one of the best, deepest voices that you've ever heard in podcasting. From Invermere, BC, 1008 rated, Max Rogitnik joining Team JPOW.
Man, I can't say enough good things about Max. You know, he's practically my neighbor. You know, it's funny. I was thinking, you know, if Casey wasn't available, I was thinking about Max because you got to
Yeah.
go for the homeboys. You got to get them in there. I will say the one thing that you know you got to worry about Max is that he's never played the courses before.
That's what
And
I
so
have down. Yeah.
that's his knock. But I do know for a fact, inside knowledge, he was up there on Monday to get a week's worth of practice in. So
Wow.
Oh, okay.
solid pick.
Two little stories I have, or things I have on Max, is that when we spoke to Matt, I believe we picked Matt on the podcast when we had Matt on, and we were talking about how great his voice is for doing a podcast or things like that. And Matt said, "You would think so, but when you're trying to do the audio for commentary, it's like it's so low and bit deep,
It's
and then the
low.
other, it's like you have to balance it between him and the other person on the podcast, the commentary. So yeah, he's got a great voice, but maybe not so when you have to balance the audio.
It doesn't match. He definitely comes across really quiet. You know, we had him on our podcast quite a bit,
Yeah.
and then even on commentary. And so I was very fortunate to have him on the podcast a little bit. So I knew I had to bump him up a little bit when we actually had him on the commentary for Park Pro.
Right.
But yeah, and just yeah, super
And a
low
great
voice,
guy.
but so smooth and
Yeah.
great guy, super handsome too, by the way.
Yeah,
The thing,
yeah, he does that okay.
yeah. The other thing that I had about Max was, I said that he's never played Falcons Flight. Why? Because for the last couple of years he's been down on the pro
He's
tour,
on the tour.
mixing it up with the I won't say the higher class or the more experienced, but like harder courses, like getting the experience down there. So
Yeah.
definitely, what he didn't make, what like you said, he's been out there for a week practicing, but what he hasn't made up for experience on the course, he's made up for experience
Yeah,
in tougher
disc golf.
tournaments. Yeah.
And I do think the courses lend themselves really well to his game. I feel like he's got a really good, like, you know, Max, he's got distance like most of the pros, but he's good in tight wooded scenarios, especially, you know, coming from out here where he's been playing most of the year.
Yeah.
You know, that's all we kind of have. So tight wooded courses, you know, tight lines, which is very important. You want to stay out of the aspens at Aspen Meadow.
Yeah, like if he's been out to Nipika practicing out there or anything like that, yeah, he'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so back over to
All right,
Team
back over to me.
Shroot Farm.
Group Farms beat
Beat
by
Shroot
Dre.
Farms.
Hi,
Yeah.
Dre.
For 2 picks.
All right. This is a tough one. I think I really want to go FPO here, but I do have two people on my list that I really want on my team on the MPO side, and I just like all the ladies, so I feel like kind of I can take you know anyone on that ladies side and have a good chance.
Yeah.
But I do like my first pick here is going to be Jackson Peace.
Okay. Yes.
He's
Good
a
pick.
young guy. He played really well last year. Super solid, and you know he's just going to keep getting better and better and better. I do believe he plays the course a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I feel like I need to have him on my team. And then I will for my next pick, we'll go with Miguel. Because
good
you know
one.
he's just a blast to be around, and if I'd be upset if I didn't have him on my team. So
Yeah.
Well,
You've made me upset
I was
because he's
just gonna
not on
say,
my team.
that was exactly what I was gonna say.
Well, and here's the question is the over under on 25 seconds after he sees you, whether you get a hug or not. Is it less than or more
way
than
under.
25? Yeah, exactly.
You could set that to like I don't know, 10 maybe, and that's
Yeah.
like he might see you from a distance and he'll sprint over. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, great picks there. I think that's Miguel was one of our early big guests on the podcast,
Yeah.
and still one of the ones we reference when we talk about horse feeder from one of his stories and things like that. So no, he's a great guy.
Yeah. Great pick.
Yeah.
2 great picks.
Yeah.
And
You
then of
guys got
course,
anything on Jackson or?
well, on Jackson, because Jackson's out of Calgary area, he organizes with his dad a glow league that goes all year long,
Yeah.
and I believe it alternates between DRM and
Baker Park.
Baker Park, and so that he's doing a lot for the community. He's got a big arm, just a kind guy, and
I have very consistent top 10 finishes all year.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
So,
sure.
yeah.
All right, so coming back my way, I am going to go back up to the FPO side, and one of the reasons is you picked Miguel, one of my favorite players from out west. There, I got another favorite player from out west, one of my favorite guests to have on the show. Always so kind, so thoughtful, just the nicest
Yeah.
person you're going to meet. Out of
Yeah.
Victoria, BC, 889 rated Gabby Lee.
Oh, she's awesome. I
Yeah.
can't say enough good things about Gabby. She's an absolute sweetheart and just amazing. You know, as you guys know, she's done a lot of our FPO coverage,
Yes.
commentary, and just goes out of her way to be as helpful as she can. And you know, they spent a lot of time in their van touring around this
Yes.
year and last year. So you know, she's getting a lot of experience on a lot of different courses. You know,
That's
playing
it.
a lot of events. So I think she can definitely contend for this one.
Yeah, no, and that's right. Like as you said, all those US events, we know that the fields can be a bit bigger there. The competition can be a little bit stiffer. And if they're new courses that you haven't played, so she's getting that experience. And the other thing for me is I've still got one of her bunny detours in my bag with her signature on it. It's reliable. And it's like, I always feel that I've got Gabby's power with my power every time I throw that disc. So I want her on my team every time I can get her on there.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I had exactly the same thing. Played on the Pro Tour, all the experience from being down there. So good pick. Good pick. Back over to me for 2 picks.
For
So
4 and 5.
So why don't we,
Mhm.
should we split this? Should we do 1 FPO, 1 MPO?
Are you consulting with me? Are you looking
No,
on my
I'm
page?
just
What are you
kind
doing?
Yeah,
of-
you should. You
Tim
should.
Shambles is just consulting the voices in his head. What we will do
I
is
thought I
we-
saw a little peeking over there again. Should I? Should I?
should I? All right, let's go to the FPO division because we want to make sure we get some picks that we want. We're gonna go. See, this one is a tough one for me, but I think this player's experience and like her disc golf ability speaks volumes. This
Mhm.
person has only played 2 events this year. And you
Right.
know, I like people that play lots of events and get bumps in their ratings. Those to me are the 2 signs for a good pick. But this player was only played 2 events. The last event they played was second at Spring Runoff.
Yes.
And as far as I can tell, they've never played Falcons Flight.
Oh no, they've not only have they played Falcons Flight,
Have they won it?
they've won.
I
Falcons
maybe didn't look
Flight.
back far enough in their history then. But Team Shambles would like to welcome Dr. Jesse Prado Smith.
Yes. I'm pretty sure. Am I right,
Solid
Andre?
pick.
Has she won before, or am I thinking Spring Runoff?
I don't think so. I think you're thinking
Oh,
Spring
okay.
Runoff because
I must be.
Spring Runoff she won. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I believe last year might have been her first year there.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
could be wrong
Oh,
about
she
that.
was there last year? Maybe I didn't look back.
She was there last
1 year
year.
then.
Yeah, I remember. I want to say it was even maybe the year before that. I thought she was there because I thought there was some film that you guys did, and she was on coverage. And I want to say one of the Moens ladies there too. I think that time. Maybe.
Oh shoot, which ones would they have been? I
Yeah.
honestly can't remember at this point. I just I've been fortunate enough to meet Jessie a few times. The first time I
Yeah.
met her was actually at the Crush. Was the very
Okay.
first time I met her. She came up to the Crush when it was at Wycliffe, and I think she won. No, she didn't quite win it that year, but she competed really hard, and I think she had a little bit of a collapse at the end. But Just a solid player and just a really smooth game. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my FPO picks all taken care of. So that means I have to go back to the MPO for my final two, but I get one pick right now. So I'm going back to the MPO division. You don't need to cover up. So, I have a pick that I'm going to go in my order,
Okay.
but I honestly thought that, well, I guess I still might be able to get to my dark horse pick, but I'm not going dark horse right now. I'm going in my order. This person is from Calgary, Alberta,
Mm-hmm.
currently 983 rated, top 10 finish at the Edmonton Open and the Limber Open, was sixth at this event last year. Let's just welcome Joshua Mindert.
Okay.
Mindert?
Solid.
Yeah.
That's a good pick for sure. And do you know much about Josh? Like we've seen his name. He's always on the
That's
leaderboards.
and that's it. That's
Like,
where and that's a good thing about, we always say the good thing about doing these fantasy picks is we get to, everybody knows Casey, everybody knows Max, everybody knows Noah, everybody knows Joe, and like the
Mhm.
the top people that are winning events. But once we start getting down the leaderboard a bit, we're starting to see these people's names that don't always feature on lead card coverage on Park Pro, or not always, have a big social media following and things like that. So the fact that we can bring their names up the lead, a bit more into the front, that's what I love about it. So yeah,
Yeah.
what experience have you got of Joshua?
It's kind of I mean, it's kind of like you say, he's not someone he's someone that is always on the leaderboard. The amount of times that you've seen
Hmm.
him on the top 10 at the event, at all the events that we filmed,
Yeah.
that's how you know that name. I've met him a few times, but I have unfortunately not really been able to record him as far as I can tell. There might have been once actually early on, I
Mm.
think, where he was on coverage. But he is a solid player. And yeah, I feel like we're kind of sound like a broken record here, but great guy, good
yeah.
guy. Uh,
Well, I think
Does
yeah,
great
too.
things in the community.
I'm guessing that last year when Park Pro was doing all the filming, when it was TCO and some of those tournaments, you did a lot of additional coverage of a card here and there and got some extra shots. And I'm
yes,
sure he must have got on
Yeah.
he
in
made
one
it.
of those.
Yeah, he made it onto a lot of those, and honestly, there was I have a lot of recording of him because if you're doing well, we really only try to put like the highlights on or people that are really making a charge, and so I have a lot of footage of Josh from doing that on chase cards and stuff like that. So obviously he's doing solid, and and maybe that speaks to his game. He might not be this highlight reel guy, but he puts his head down and he just kind of grinds away at it, and he's just solid throughout, so and steady.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
awesome. Well, we're back to me. I've got two picks left. This is one of them, and then
Yes.
I'll have to wait a couple.
Yeah.
And I am going to go with someone who does have a bit of a social media presence. This is a person who um, is a little bit younger, but has
Mm.
been really kind of in that stage where they're growing, they're getting stronger, they're throwing further, they're getting better accuracy. They're part of Team Wildman, which we've already said is a great bonus to be part of that group.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's got like a laser beam of a throw. So we're going to welcome 969 rated from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Gavin Beamish to Team JPOW.
Hmm.
All
That's
right.
There you go.
I think that I don't know if I want to speak for Andre, but that was definitely
Did I catch you off guard?
yeah, that was a bit of a dark horse pick.
Well, yeah, a little bit for me, but the one thing about Gavin, if you watch any of his footage of him throwing out in Spruce Grove and,
Hmm.
and what he can do out there,
Hmm.
and then on top of that, he's been hanging out in the AMs and he's stepping up
Oh,
to
for
the
sure.
pros.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be, to me, I'm just excited. I want to give him some love and I want
Yeah.
to know that he's got my support behind him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great guy. Can now drive this year, so he's getting out to a lot more different tournaments. He can actually that wasn't meant as a joke. That
No,
was
no,
meant
it's true.
yeah, like he can.
Unlike Gannon for so
Legit.
many years, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. No, but yeah, good kid, great, like you said, big arm, and not just gone up to MPO division and kind of like, should he be MA1, should he be MPO? But no, he's in MPO and he's competing in MPO. So
Oh, yes. Yeah.
definitely a good kid, good pick.
Yeah, I actually I don't know anything about Gavin, so I have to revert to your guys' knowledge here. So
Well, if you go and look him up, he throws
Equine
equine
discs.
discs,
Yeah.
and and just throws the crap out of them. Is
Yeah.
what he does. Yeah. So you got 2 picks left
This is your
here.
final 2 picks.
Yeah.
And you still
yeah,
have
and one of
one
them
FPO.
one of
Yeah.
them's going to be an FPO, and I think I'll pick my FPO first because I'm trying to get some insider knowledge here for my MPO pick. So I'm going to try to delay that as much as I can.
Oh,
On the
he's got
FPO
his
side,
feelers out.
Right.
on the FPO side, I think you got to go with Terry Hong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like, it's funny. All the people on this list, it could just be like my favorite people in BC and Alberta disc golf. So,
Yeah.
on all of our lists, they're all so
Yes.
great. And Terry Hong is another one of those people. And I feel like she can do it at any time. She just like flick a switch and she's just like, she's on it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just like someone that you could just genuinely tell that they just love disc golf. So,
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you just look at what happened if you were watching what happened over at the Lost Egg tournament, and she had like a little bit of an incident at the campsite and ended
yeah.
up
Yep.
getting some burns. And she's like, no, I'm not going to go and just rest and relax and everything else.
Yeah.
I got a round to play.
Yeah. And she
Yeah.
finished third.
Yes.
Yeah. Despite the injury, still finished third. Yeah. And I think you're downplaying it. I wouldn't really call it a slight injury. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
that
a
was
significant
pretty
injury. You're correct.
Significant injury. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. That's correct.
Yeah. So
But
for
the way
that
she
really-
plays it off, it was like, oh, it's just a
Yeah.
flesh wound.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just have to change my
that-
bandages, and yeah.
And that's the type of person she is. She works so hard, and she's awesome. Great
Yeah.
attitude.
Third at GCO, third at Lost Egg, despite the injury. So yeah, great pick.
For sure.
All right, and for my last pick,
Yes.
I didn't get a response, but there's 3 people that I'm eyeing up here, and we can talk about them all after. Maybe you guys are going to pick them, but it's a risky pick because you never know. I'm going to go with my guy Ben Loggins.
Oh,
I just messaged him to see if he's working the night before, because I believe
Like
last
last
year
year.
I think
Yes.
he like had 2 hours of sleep before he started his round because he had to drive up after working.
right.
So I was asking him if he was doing that again, but I didn't get a response in time. But I just feel like he's a previous winner of this at this event, so he's got it. And
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, can't say enough good things about Ben. He's great. Again, I think most of the people on my list, I feel sad if I didn't get them on my list. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with Ben winning the long drive competition last year on no sleep as well. And he's won the
And
tournament before, right?
Yeah. Previous winner, like, knows the course. Nothing's going to be a surprise. Even on 2 hours of sleep, he doesn't need practice. He knows the course. He knows what you're up against. You know what you're getting with Ben.
Well, and he knows how to maximize his time, like you said. So
Yeah.
last year he worked to the last minute, drove out, and then played around.
Mhm.
When he was on our podcast, he was like, yeah, I'm probably going to have to leave around here or there. We kept him about 5 minutes longer, and he had to cut it off because he literally had to go get on the train. So he keeps
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but you talk about Eagles being valuable. On 8 East, it's the S1. He's going over the top to try get the Eagle. So
Right.
could be worth extra points right there.
There you go. I like it. Thinking.
He's thinking Eagles.
Exactly.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
that's your team fully picked.
Yeah.
There we go.
And I'm down to my order here. I'm kind of looking at these two, and I'm not going to do it again, Daryl. We've done this too many times, and every time we do,
No,
we get
You're
burned.
doing him.
Every time we
Yeah.
don't pick this person, we hear about it, Andre. We hear about it loudly that we
I know exactly who it is.
didn't do what we were supposed to do. And the worst case scenario of this was happening
Yeah.
with Nationals last year
Yeah.
when they ended up on a lead card on the final day. 975
You lucky
rated
power couple.
Edmonton,
Oh,
Alberta.
no, sorry, you're not getting the power. No, yeah. Sorry.
We're getting Riley Douglas on the team.
Yeah.
So I put in my notes, never sleep on Riley. So that's
Nice. That's great.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean, solid player. Again, him and Josh kind of like, they have to me, they're kind of in a similar boat where they're not super flashy, but they just get the job done.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do exactly.
There you go. That's your team.
Team J-Pow
Filled.
rounded out.
Leaving it over to me for my final pick.
All right, I'll
Now-
let you look at my whole
No,
sheet now
I don't
if
need
you
to.
want.
This is the so this is the when I said I had 2 picks left, and I said one of them was a dark horse. I wasn't sure if anyone was going to pick him. So this is my dark horse. This is my out there pick, and this is a person that I don't know a lot about, but just looking at his events that he's played, that's where I was kind of going. It's experience that I'm building this on. So this player
Mm-hmm.
is from Eugene, Oregon.
Ooh.
See, I've already piqued your suspicions.
Yes.
980 rated, has played on a few DGPT events this year. Played 17 events all year.
Oh.
Team Shambles is going to pick the dark horse. Shade Harrison.
Oh, Shade. And I want to say, if I remember right, Andre, and maybe I'm wrong, so you can correct me, but was Shade? No, because we would have saw Lauren there. I wanted to say I thought Lauren Butler and Shade were maybe traveling together at one point last year or something at Nationals, but maybe it was somebody else.
Okay.
But yeah,
I don't remember off the top of my head. I do recognize the name though. So
Yeah, I was looking through the list and his name stood out to me, and I it obviously wasn't well, not obviously, but for me it wasn't going to be like a top 3, top 5 pick. But when I look at his name, I was thinking that maybe he might fly under the radar. Maybe he could do some things. I looked in. He had the experience of. I think he played Beaver State Fling. I think he played Las Vegas. I think he played a few other tournaments this year, which kind of stood out to me on the Pro Tour. So I was like, yeah, that could be a bit of a dark horse. And
yeah, he was 15th at Canadian Nationals, and if it wasn't with Lauren that he was traveling, maybe he was traveling with Taylor, because Taylor's from down that side.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Taylor Diskey.
Taylor Chosek.
Chosek, yeah.
But yeah, that's a great pick. Now,
Hey,
we got our teams put together. Before we run through them, you kind of alluded to it, Andre. I like to throw out there, and we actually had this player want to earn their way off of the list, is that we will do our honorable mentions. And when we did the Eastern Canadian Amateur Nationals, he was in the chat and he's like, I just hope to get another honorable mention, guys. And that was Spencer Young.
Right.
we were doing that.
Exactly.
nice.
But yeah, so did you have an honorable mention that you wanted to shout out that didn't get a chance to get picked?
I actually have a few. I have 3 honorable mentions that I think should have gotten picked at some point. And I mean, I guess this is just a sign that we probably could have gone another round if you wanted to. But and they're all on the MPO side. You know, I know we talked about the FPO. You know, anyone there can win it, so they're all honorable mentions. It's such an even playing field on the FPO side, and I'm hoping that I actually get to watch some of that after my rounds, and you know, I'm doing a little bit of spotting and stuff, but that's going to be such a good battle to watch. But on the MPO side, do you guys have any? Because I can talk about 3 people. So why don't you guys go first?
Well, you go first.
Well, why don't you throw one out there, and then we'll throw one out.
I'll throw one out there, and you guys can throw some out there. So my first honorable mention is Eric Yorth Olsen.
Yeah, he's on my list.
He always does well at this event. He just always finds his way onto a lead card at some point. He doesn't necessarily make it at the end, but I believe he finished second last year.
Second, exactly.
And he's just like, you know, we're talking about these players that are just like solid all around. His I will say his form is maybe a little more unorthodox than you see out of the pros, but I mean, you could say the same thing about Max Rogitnig off the tee. Eric he's such a solid player, and he finds a way to do it, and he's we're talking about focus on when you're playing. He is so focused, but he is like when you're talking to him, he's so chatty. He's like one of those guys where you're like, should I approach him? Just like he looks like he's in the zone, and then he'll approach you because he's in the zone, but then he kind of like comes out of it and he's all chatty and happy. So Eric is definitely an honorable mention, and I would not be surprised if he is on the podium at the end of the event.
Yeah, that's what I had as well, that he was second last year, and I was surprised that he didn't go, not only didn't go higher, but didn't go at all during this, during our notes and all things like that.
Yeah.
I had I'm just looking for him now. My next pick would have been Joshua Kist.
Yeah.
He
Okay, yep,
was,
yep.
yeah, he was on my. He was the next one for me to go.
He's a,
Top 10 at Big Bear, top 10 at Limber Open. A couple of recent events. I think Big Bear kind of plays well, kind of a good style wooded course to this. Maybe not as hilly,
Mhm.
but definitely was definitely up there for me. That he was going to be my next pick. So
yeah, no, that's
good
a
honorable
great
mention
one
for
for
him.
sure.
And then I had a Yates show as well.
Yeah. And then honorable mention for me is somebody that you kind of somewhat alluded to, or at least to the family earlier in the conversation there, is I'm going to be playing round one Falcons Flight with his dad, Steve. But this is a young guy who's really up and coming from the Cranbrook area, and that's Adrian Redick. And I think that's the one thing we talked about Gavin earlier, and then you talk about Adrian. You've got these young guys coming in as the Caseys and the Maxes are now into that mature stage of playing disc golf, and these young guys are just going to get better every
Mhm.
year. And yeah, I was excited. I'm excited to see how he performs at the event this year.
Yeah, me too. And Adrian's shown steady improvement throughout the year as well.
Yeah.
I feel like he's actually taken a really big jump from last year compared to this year. And he's just, yeah, like you said, he's just playing solid disc golf. I know he's been challenging, Casey and Ben over at league nights and stuff like that down at Cranbrook. So
Right.
Adrian is definitely a name to watch for this one. And
Mhm.
talk about a disc golf family. That's a disc golf family.
Yeah, and Morgan, we got to mention Morgan when we talk about that as well, because
Yeah.
she's going to be out there this weekend playing, and she always at the top of her division as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have two other honorable mentions that I'd like to mention.
Go for
Okay.
it.
Justin Zimmer, who he made, I believe he made lead card at one point last year. He's just, again, solid player. So honorable mention to him. And then Sam Sullivan, talk about a guy
Okay.
that, uh, he's one of those guys that you don't expect him to be uh, at the top, but he always just finds his way there. So those
Hmm.
are two other guys I think you should definitely keep an eye on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll throw two more quick ones.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Of course, you've got Amber Chase on there, and she gets a lot of attention because she is the FPO player, always up there. But there's two halves to that team, and one of them is Kyle Chase on, and Kyle is a pretty solid player himself in that group there. So maybe not always at the top part of the leaderboard, but definitely fighting in that top 10 spot for that for sure. And then another one, just another one of those nice guys, entertaining guys, long flowing dreads, tall drink of water, always having a good time out at the course. Johnny Monkey, he's a good guy to watch too. So,
Yeah.
and he can do anything on any day too. It just depends on how
Yeah.
his weekend's going.
He's another one of those names that you always see him on the leaderboard. Like, he's around, you see him out there, you know his name, you definitely, if you know his name, you know what he looks like. And like you said, he's got a very unique personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid. And also shout out to Chase on there. He I believe he's also supporting the event in some capacity as well. So
Okay.
Nice.
That's great.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, while we're talking about supporting the event, if you are playing the event or if you're out there spectating, as you're walking around the course, probably on the west course, I'm going to guess,
Mm-hmm.
keep an eye out for the Chain Out podcast
Oh,
sign that might be sponsoring one of the holes.
yeah.
So, yeah.
We've got our and there'll be something a little
Yeah.
new maybe that you
Maybe,
might notice on that
maybe
sign
that's
too.
all we will say.
Yeah.
All right,
Nice.
so
Can't wait.
let's do maybe we should put that out on Instagram and say if you see something out there to do a Chain Out podcast, take a photo of it, and
Yeah.
maybe that'll get you something.
Is that a contest thing?
I think we'll have to do that.
All right. Sounds good.
Well, now that we have our picks, we're already locked in. We've discussed our honorable mentions. Let's just do one quick recap of our teams.
Mm-hmm.
So let's bring our teams back up on the screen here, just in case you weren't sure. Team Shambles went first, so I will just recap my team.
Okay.
So first overall pick, everybody's really jealous at my first overall pick. So Noah Higgins, second pick, FPO winner as well, Zoe Lorenz Bozer.
Mm-hmm.
Then I followed up with Nick Culver, Jesse Prado Smith, Dr. Jesse Prado Smith, Joshua Mindart, and Shade Harrison is kind of my sleeper pick there, I think so.
Nice.
Team J Power went second, so why don't you let me know what your team was?
I've got the quiet killer, Coda Postma, as my primary pick. I got someone who will not be chasing this lead. They'll be winning it. Amber Chason. Max Forgetnik going at max power all weekend long. Gabby Lee, I really don't have to say much more than the friendliest person with the best discs playing for MVP Axiom. Loving that. Gavin Beamish with the laser beams, and Riley, don't sleep on me, Douglas, to finish it out. I'm happy with Team J Pal.
And then rounding out Team Shroot Farm Beers Beats by Dre.
I got Joe's gonna go Henderson, Keezy Hannafire Hannemeyer. Oh, I don't know if I can keep these up. Jackson, Peace and Zen on the course.
Yes.
Oh man, Miguel Alva.
Nicest man.
Miguel, give him hell, Alvarado.
Yeah, there you go. Terry, scary Terry Hong, and Ben, Loggins the Eagles for sure.
That's perfect. We got to do a show that's just that, just coming up with nicknames on the fly.
Yeah. That's hilarious. So there you go. Those are our teams. We will be putting those out on Instagram. We'll be tagging all the pros. We'll be tagging Andre and Team J Pow as well.
Mhm.
Everybody hopefully will be reposting them. The pros will be weighing in. Vote on your favorite team. If you do vote on a team, doesn't matter if you vote on the winning team, but if you vote on the team, you'll be entered into the BR Disc Golf gift card giveaway.
Yeah.
And that we will be drawing that by next week's Chain Out podcast episode.
You bet. So I got to ask you a quick question, Andre, because you are out in the Invermere Cranbrook area, right? Or not Cranbrook, you're a little north of there. When are you leaving for the tournament?
I am leaving first thing tomorrow. Actually, I took time out of my packing up my trailer to do this. So yeah, leaving first thing in the morning. Yeah.
And is the family coming with for you? Or?
No, they don't really come to that. Juniper, I think in like maybe 2 years will start coming out. Maybe they have I think they have a FJ 6 or 7 division.
Okay.
So she'll be. I think about when she's 5 is when I'll start trying to see if she wants to play tournaments.
That'll be awesome. Well, I'm leaving I'm working till noon tomorrow, and then I'm hitting the road. So we'll probably show up around the same time. So I'm looking forward to seeing you out there.
Yeah, definitely. And any of the listeners, if you see me on the course, just come say hi. Tell me how awesome my team is.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, perfect. Thank you, Andre, for joining us. We're excited to see how your team goes, and hopefully you score some points for team guest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks like we could use it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And we don't have a fancy ending like we do for Chain Out or for Around the Basket.
No.
So why don't we just fly out of here like a falcon?
I like it. Perfect. Well, thank you for your time, Andre. We will do the update. Be sure to tune in next week to see the results. And hopefully you have a great tournament. Jeremy, hopefully you have a great tournament as well.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a little bit of FOMO that I won't be down there this year.
You can always come out for the day.
I need a year off to get over that hole that gave me a 17. But hopefully
you just got to go. I think you got to go there and play that hole over and over again until you get less than 15.
Exactly. That's my goal.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Thanks for your time, Andre. We'll see you later. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.